Hello and welcome back to THL 2018 round 7, and it takes us to Canada, which is another street circuit, and hence is one which I don't really like this game. Like Monaco, it is really cancer for the pad, this track. So it's just about damage limitation. Even so, my good friend Jaeger actually has had PC problems, so he actually won't be racing today. So I will be able to actually claw him back a bit. But you can see now we're just sitting on a lap just at the end of the session. We're going on the hypersofts because of course I actually wanted to start as high up as possible. I did a lap on the ultras, but that was only good enough for P6, and of course I want to get as good a result as possible. And I don't know, I mean the game sort of thinks the 2-stop could even actually rival the 1-stop. I mean I don't have tremendous pace, but you can see going purple there, and I was really getting my hopes up now because quite a lot of the fast runners actually qualified on the ultra softs, so I knew this was my best chance in probably the whole year of getting pole position. Of course, I've only ever got one pole position in my life, and that was Russia season 14, which was literally over a year ago now. So yeah, could I get my pole position, first pole position of 2018? And 7/10 up. It looks like we're about to, as we cross the line. It's pole position by 0.3 of a second over Ventrox, and yeah, it was a really good lap on my hypersofts. It could have been a bit better. I think I could have gained a 10th or two. I think I was a 10th down on what my PB is in time trial, but a brilliant lap, probably my best lap in qualifying of the year, and I am P1, albeit, so there is a really fast newcomer, 50 Laren, who's silver 3 in P3, so, and we've also got Kozia and Pixelmeister also in the ultras, starting quite close to the front, so it should be quite interesting. Of course, the 1-stop is slightly faster than the 2-stop. Even so, if I can convert this pace, maybe I could get a good result. Even so, it's just about getting as many points as possible, just to reel in Jaeger. Of course, after he's, I think, 35 points ahead of me or something ridiculous. After I've crashed out on Monaco and had a few other really poor results recently, including the Boswell at Baku. But here we are now, 5 red lights. And away we go, and we're going to actually maintain the lead off the start. Of course, I'm used to starting in the pack nowadays, so yeah, it's quite novel to actually lead from the front once again. And yeah, we actually maintain the lead into turn 1. As you can see, there's lots of chaos in the mid-pack, and normally we would find ourselves a part of that, but no, this time we will lead from the front. And yeah, it was really relaxing, to be honest, but I was really under pressure right now because I knew that I needed a good result to beat Jaeger, so there was a lot of pressure right now. I was in a position where I could even win, so I really didn't want to make a mistake. But you can see already, I'm actually able to pull a bit of a gap on Ventrox, who's already coming under a lot of fire from 50 Laren, who, as you can see, actually gets past Ventrox for P2. So that's not good news at all, because of course we got the pace over Ventrox in qualifying, and this 50 Laren guy keeping with us, even though he's on the ultra soft. So the fact that he's got past Ventrox now, you can see he's all over us now as we've begun to drop Ventrox even more. And of course we're on the pad, so our tyre wear is going to be even worse than this 50 Laren guy, and also he's on the ultra soft, so that's sort of a double whammy there. So we really need to pull a gap on him as quickly as possible. So of course we have a big enough a gap so we can actually pull off the 2-stop. But you can see on lap 4 already, he's already all over the back of us, and of course it's only a matter of time now he's going to get past. As you can see, Kozia now is all over the back of Ventrox, so the 2 ultra soft runners beginning to plough their way through the field. I don't know what's happened to Pixelmeister, but I think he's had a few issues. So I think he's out there running, but it's between us 4 right now, and I wouldn't count out Wattmaster as well, because I think we're actually merging with the THL guys, of course the non-assist guys, who are much faster than me and Jaeger, and some of them have actually joined the session today. So I'm going to have my work cut out if I want to actually defend. It's not going to be like Bahrain, where I got quite, a relatively unchallenged top 2. But you can see 50 Land manages to get past us, and we didn't drop us originally, but it was only a matter of time now before we get into to drop us on our ailing tyres. And you can see already, it's as though we actually kept our gap to Ventrox, who's already in the pits. We are actually dropping quite quickly off the back of 50 Laren. Of course, our tyres are beginning to suffer now, of course, on the pad. But you can see UNTP retiring from the session in Force India. So yeah, we're beginning to lose a few runners. We're down to 13 from 15, but again, I wasn't really worried about that right now. I was just worried about sort of my 2-stop and where we would actually put me. Of course, trying to get as good a result as possible as we go into the pits now from P2, and we should come out hopefully ahead of Ventrox still, even though we stayed out a few more laps. And yeah, because of course the one good thing about the pad is that we can heat our tyres quite quickly, so we're actually quite good at the beginning of the stint. As you can see, Cryptox is going to get past. I think this is Danny as well who's going to get past. So you saw Wattmaster also go past as we were in the pits, and of course, yeah, he is probably the fastest in the whole of THL right now. after pinging too high has actually unfortunately broken his arm or something. So I think he is the fastest, but we get Danny LV6 as we exit the pit. So that was a really crucial maneuver there, because now we've got a car between us and Ventrox, and as you see, we've begun to drag Danny quite quickly, but yeah, Ventrox also got past him quickly. As you can see now, we're all over the back of Cryptox. Yeah, it's just about trying to make our way through the field. I really didn't want to have to battle these guys, because it was just going to be losing me time, and if there's any hope of me getting a podium, I will need to get past these guys as soon as possible, because although I qualified on pole, I've got the likes of Kozia, Wattmaster, and of course the new guy 50 Laren on the one stop, and they probably have the pace over me as well, especially Wattmaster. So it's about trying to get past him quick, but you see he doesn't actually put up a fight at all. Cryptox just lets me through quite easily, and I was really thankful for that, to be honest, because you can see now Ventrox is still quite a bit behind him, because of course Cryptox got quite good pace, so he could have easily battled me like he is doing to Ventrox now, but he let me pass, so I really respect that. And it allowed, of course, not slowing either of us down, so it allowed me to get increase the gap a bit over Ventrox. But you can see he is steadily coming down. I just don't think I got the tyre wear nor the pace around the street circuit, even so I did actually beat him in qualifying. But yeah, the top three are pretty home and dry right now. I've got 9 seconds to Wattmaster, and Kozia now in the pits, but he's not going to come out too far behind us, and of course he will be on fresher tyres, and that will be his final pit stop. So yeah, I think the best we can actually hope for is maybe P3, but most likely P4. We have got Ventrox, who's literally all over the back of us, but you can see 50 Laren pits from the lead. That's going to relinquish Wattmaster, who's actually starting on the supers into the lead, but you can see 50 Laren is actually going to manage to get us. So we were actually able to pull off the undercut on him, and he's literally a whole pit stop ahead of us now, which that's quite frustrating, because I would have liked to convert this pole into at least a podium, as we get another corner cutting warning. I think that was actually one of our first of the race. We actually weren't getting many penalties. I mean, I was probably one thing I was trying to reduce. Of course, after getting 21 seconds of penalties in AOR, which cost me P10, I really didn't want more penalties than Ventrox, because I didn't. If anything, I wanted to gain a position due to penalties, not lose a position. As Ventrox now is all over the back of us. He's caught up the 4 seconds gap, and it's about time we have to start defending from him now. And you can see we actually, if we defend too hard, we could even bring Kozia back into the battle. But right now, the only guy I'm racing is Ventrox, because that's the only one for position. I think Kozia is ahead of me, well, position wise, and so is 50 Laren. So I'm not really battling them. And Wattmaster is slightly out of reach as well, especially when he pits from the lead. So right now it is unfortunately going to be for battle for P4. Even so, it will help us if we can get this P4. We will be able to shrink the gap to Jaeger down back to 20 points. Of course, after Jaeger got 4th last time in Monaco and we crashed out. So yeah, so it should be quite good. But you see, Kozia managed to get past me and Ventrox quite easily on his fresher tyres. Even so, they were these super softs. But you see, Ventrox originally trying to get past me after, of course, Kozia got past me. So trying to follow him through, but nothing actually resulted from that in the end. We defended rather aggressively. Of course, I just don't want to lose this position at all. I know Ventrox has got the pace over me, but I'm worried that if I let him go, that he's going to get me, and he's going to just run off with this. As you can see, Wattmaster's in the pits, but as we go into the pits now, we're going to get followed in by Ventrox. So considering that he pitted two laps earlier than us, he managed to stretch the tyres very well. So I don't know if he's on the wheel or not. I suppose he probably is, because I wouldn't be able to stretch the tyres that long on my controller. But you can see now as he's in the pits, we're actually going to gain a bit of time off him. I don't know if it's from our early pit box or the fact that he's had a really good pit entry, but you can see Marcus is also going to get past us. I've actually had a bit of a tangle with this guy in qualifying as well as Monaco last time out, in which unfortunately he missed his braking point into turn 1 and smashed me off. But yeah, luckily he's just going to peel into the pits, so I don't have to actually battle with him again. Which is good, because the last thing I wanted is another coming together with him. So you can see, yeah, we actually have got a really big gap over Ventrox. We've got a gap of about 4.5 seconds. It's down to 4 seconds now, and once again I was losing this gap really quickly, and it was quite annoying, because I knew if I had a bit more pace I could have challenged for the podium, but I just didn't have any pace, and before long Ventrox is all over the back of me, even so I out-qualified him by 3/10. So again, that's just confounding the issue that my tyre wear is just horrible, especially on these ultra softs. So hopefully hopefully around France and Austria, because of course they're a bit more free flowing, I can actually have a bit more pace on the pads. And of course I'm hoping to get a wheel at Christmas, so finally I could probably stop making these excuses, which are probably coming quite repetitive now, but I would say they're valid for the time being. Of course, unless we have races, I really stand no chance against these guys on the wheel. I mean, and even Jaeger on the pads, he's just managed. He practices so much more than me. There's no chance I can keep up with these guys. So, for the time being, it's just about me defending as hard as possible. Just making sure Ventrox can't get past. Of course, we've beaten by over 40 seconds in Bahrain, but since then he's switched off a number of his assists, and you can see how fast he is. I mean, he came second. He was about on car to even win Monaco last week. And now he's on after qualifying second in Canada. He's all over the back of us. He's bridged the 4-second gap in roughly about 5 or 6 laps. So the guy's flying as he's now trying to dive up our inside. That was quite an aggressive move, but he's actually managed to find an opening. So had to leave him space there because he scores it, and otherwise he would have probably spun me around. But you can see now he's actually got really good traction, and he's actually managed to get us. So I was a bit frustrated about that because I felt like I did get tagged a bit. So I was going to try to get him back as soon as possible. Of course, and otherwise he's just going to run away with it on his on his better pace, to be honest. So you can see again he slightly clipped the wall, which is going to hinder his exit. So I thought this is my chance to get him. Of course, in his slipstream, we're actually going to turn down the fuel mixture a bit because I'd like to run lean through the corners because it gives me better traction. But yeah, ultimately I wasn't close enough to make the move on him. But you can see again we're actually staying within his DRS, even though he's faster than us. It sort of shows that although there's a lot of dirty air in this game, DRS is more than enough to keep you with him. But we get our third penalty of the race now, and I have to be careful because it could easily be that this is for position now, and so it's really important that I get past him because I think the average amount of penalties around here is about 9 seconds, due to the fact that it's so easy to corner cut on this game because the rules are so pedantic. We see already we get on the curb and our car does a bit of a skid. And yeah, on medium traction control, my car is feeling really unstable, as always, especially when the tyres were beginning to die. But I knew I only had a few laps left. I knew I just had to keep with him. And even though he's going to probably drop me through the corners because of the dirty air, I knew as long as I kept on the back of him, I could still get this position. But you can see hope is beginning to die out now as we head on to the final lap. We're still there, but we don't get the best exit, and we're not going to get him now. So in my mind, there's only one other overtaking spot, which is the last back straight. So as long as we can keep close to him, but you can see he's actually dropped us by a bit. He gets quite a bad run, so this is my chance. We're going to get quite a good run here, but I don't want to overtake him here because that's going to just set out, leave us a sitting duck for the final corner. So we're going to hang back, not quite go hot lap, and we're just going to follow him through. And we don't get the best run. But the second part of the corner is considerably better. But he's still got the legs over us. So right now I was thinking he actually is too far ahead for us to pounce on him. But we're going to try to get it right behind him into the braking zone. Get a really good exit. And we actually get an alright exit. But I think he gets a slightly better one. But now we got everything in the tank. We got hot lap. We got standards. We're going to run rich now. And you can see we're gaining as 50 Darren wins the race on his maiden race. So congrats to him. But we're going to get Ventrox up the inside, and we're going to get him into the final hairpin. So not hairpin, final chicane. So yeah, I was really happy with that move. Although I would have loved the podium with these new THL guys, TGL guys. I think it's just about me trying to beat Jaeger out to the rest of the season. But Kozia once again, brilliant drive, and the top 3 separated by less than a second after penalties. Of course, Wattmaster very clean. Only picking up 1 penalty, so brilliant drive from him, just sort of confounding why he's gold 1 and probably the best in THL. But even so, 50 Lauren and Kozia did beat him even with more penalties after he started outside the top 10. We get P4 and Ventrox gets P5, so yeah, that's the final race orders. As we look at the actual standings, Jaeger still has a 20-point lead over me, who in turn I only have a 7-point lead over Kozia now, and Ventrox moves into P4. Aki P5 and P6 goes to I think I forgot who it was. But then if you look at constructor standings, you can see Ferrari are still out in front. McLaren now P2 after, of course, their really good result, and Red Bull will be P3. So that's it for this episode. See you next time.